Buying your first investment property does not need to be overwhelming. Now, I remember buying mine and I was absolutely shitting myself. I was so scared about the things that I didn't know and making a mistake, which is why I'm recording this video for you. So I've got 10 different ideas that will make the process of buying so much easier. You can get your notepad out, you can write down these ideas and hopefully get a better outcome as a result. Now, the first three ideas in this video, 99% of first-time buyers wouldn't get to, because we all want to rush out once we've got that deposit or once we've got that equity from our own home, and we go talk to a broker or a bank manager. They say we can borrow some money. The next thing we do is we look on realestate.com, we get to know the market over a week or a month, and then we buy something. Now, that's exactly what I did, and I highly encourage you not to do that. Now, the first step is super simple. Just take a look at where you are right now. This is as simple as looking at your total income, your total expenses, and what you can save each week, which will put you in a great position to look at the second thing, and that is thinking about or looking at your long-term future. Now, there's two parts to this. One part is your vision, and your vision is as simple as, this is the type of life that I want. I'd like choices, time with my family, time with my friends, the opportunity to travel, to do work that I enjoy, to train more, to do the things that bring joy to your life. The second part of looking into the future is drawing a hard goal or line in the sand around how much passive income you want for the future. Now, when I was just getting started, before I had a clear strategy, I said 50 grand a year would be great. Now that I've got 3 kids and an expensive wife, that goal is more like $100,000 to $200,000 per year. But start with where you're at. If you don't know what that number should be, just replace your current annual salary, which you're currently living off at the moment. The third step in buying is getting real with yourself and looking in the mirror and going, what is honestly holding you back from achieving this goal right now? Is it a lack of income? Is it a lack of savings? Is it information overload? Is it analysis paralysis? Do you have people in your life that are sort of being negative around this stuff at the moment? Is the media spooking you? There's always a reason to not take action in this lifetime, which I completely understand. But by looking at the true challenges you're facing right now and accepting them, you can start walking towards your first investment or your first property better. So after you've looked at where you are, where you'd like to be, and what's holding you back, you're finally ready to take the first true step, and that's talking to your bank or your broker. Now, they'll ask for some information and they'll tell you how much you can borrow. And then from there, we can take the fifth step, which is going, okay, my broker says I can borrow 500K or $1 million. Which market, which area, which type of strategy do I want to follow from here? Now, for me, I like to buy metro or the major regional markets. I like to buy a house because houses have outperformed units and townhouses long-term in Australia. I like to buy a quality suburb, a quiet street, a nice big block of land, and a house with some potential in the future for a family to either rent it off me or rebuy it down the line. Once you've got that strategy in place of that 500K investment, you can then choose your city or your major regional market. And then within that, for example, if you're looking at Sydney, you'd go, well, there's north, east, south, west, and central Sydney. Where can I afford? Probably nowhere for 500K. So you should maybe look at Perth, Brisbane, or Adelaide. And then within that market, choosing one area. Now, once you've chose your city and then the part of the city, we get to take the next step, which is identifying one suburb. One of the biggest mistakes that first timers and I made is looking at too many things at one time and being that jack of all trades, expert of none. In terms of what makes a good suburb, we want to be looking at a place with good household income, low vacancy rates, a high DSR score, a strong long-term performance, but in the last 10 years, not great performance. We want to look at a suburb with good schools, good infrastructure that's completely filled up, with nice, quiet, leafy or beachside streets. We want to be buying a suburb where most of the people living there are mums and dads and owner-occupiers, and some of the people living there are renters, and then the people that are renting there are earning good money and want to stay in the suburb to put their kids in the quality neighbouring schools. The 8th step is where the fun begins, and what's crazy is we're already 8 steps in, but most people, in fact 99% of us, would have already bought a property by now. So once we've got the right market, the right city, the right pocket of the city, the right suburb, the right streets, and we know the market, we can get into the fun part of property, which is buying, talking to agents, going to open homes, and slowly figuring out the market until you can take that action. Now, as crazy it is to say, less than 10% of buying a property is actually physically buying it. So after we've bought it, we want to start the due diligence. We want the town planners to have a look at it, the building and pest inspectors, the solicitors, the property managers, the builders, whatever team of advisors you need to work with your solicitor to make sure that it is the right property, that you're protected. And if it's not, having the confidence through your solicitor to talk about your options to walk away from the property legally, or if it does look good and everybody's boxes have ticked out, then you can proceed with that confidence that you are doing the right thing and that you made the best step possible. The 10th step, once we settle on the property, is to rent it out. Now, don't be afraid to ask for market rates. You don't have to be the nice guy with property all the time. We do want to look after our tenants, but go for the maximum amount you can. We also want to get a tax depreciation report on the property if the property is within 20 years of age or so, or has gone through some major works recently, and that report can be sent to your accountant. In Australia, there's some great opportunities there from a tax perspective to have a look at with your accountant. And then from there, we review, we celebrate what we've done, we chill out for a little while. And if you're anything like me, your mind will probably already be going to, well, what's next? And what's next is simple. We either save again, we wait for the property to increase in value, or we start paying some of that debt off on that property. And it is really as simple as that. There's a whole bunch of different ways to get to where you want to be, but by slowing down and following these steps, hopefully you can get a much, much better outcome. Now, for those of you thinking about seriously buying a property at the moment, I'd love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. All you have to do is jump over to www.pumpedonproperty.com, where myself or my brother, Simon, or one of our team members can talk about where you are, where you'd like to be. We can educate you on the current market up here in Southeast Queensland where we help people buy. And then you can take that information, go and smash it on your own. Or maybe you can become one of the small number of people we work with each month. But either way, I hope you've got some good ideas out of this video. I absolutely wish you all the best moving forward, and thanks for your time.
Woo! That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Getting cool, bro. Yeah.
Oh, sweaty. So sweaty. Oh, that's good. That so nice, eh? Oh.